Congratulations.
Or, I mean, with the state of musical theater, I feel like so many people are just writing these formulaic musicals of what they think a musical should be. Everything is the same.
Right? Oh, hire more disabled actors.
Hire more disabled actors, and don't only hire white disabled people. There are black.
The lack of overtures has been detrimental to musical theater.
I 100% agree with you.
What's wrong, B?
There's just a lot of movement.
On my camera? I see that. Yeah. What is that?
It's like a light thing, but I don't know.
Is it on the camera?
It's on the camera.
Oh, God. Has it been like that the whole time?
I just noticed it.
Hi, I'm Rebecca,
Hi, I'm Melanie,
and this is Black, Brown, Broadway.
also known as B.B.B. Today we will be talking about the state of musical theater and the art of the 90-minute experience. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're going to talk about We're going to talk about the state of musical theater. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Is it good? Is it bad? Well, we are certainly not impressed with the state of musical theater. It has significantly declined over the last, honestly, I think, and this is not to say that all new musicals are bad, because they aren't, but to my memory and my knowledge, the last musical that got like such attention and acclaim and like universally was understood was Hamilton.
Yeah.
And that is, yes, because they filmed it, but it's just kind of like it spoke to so many different experiences at once. And I haven't really, to my knowledge, I don't remember anything that's happened since that. So let's talk about like what happened to musical theater.
I think one of the things that happened was, I think Broadway's become a little bit, like there's a BFA-ification of Broadway. Now to our viewers, a BFA is a degree, and it's in the arts. We're talking about BFAs in musical theater and acting, and how they are training everyone to be a carbon copy of the person who came before them. They all sound the same. They all are just trying to sing the highest notes.
Exactly.
I'm missing individuality.
Yeah, the sopranoification.
The sopranoification.
The sopranoification.
And the tenorification.
Look, right? Love you, Jeremy Jordan, but you ruined it for you and Ben Platt, okay? Like
Aaron Tveit also.
Yeah.
I love you.
We love you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to lie. But you're absolutely right. Like, these programs have decided that they are no longer going to invest in the individuals and that they are now going to invest in, like, their reputation of who came from there.
As a person who never fit into any carbon copy, it was brutal.
Yeah. It's also rooted in, like, how we're treating, like, Broadway replacements. Like, I want to give a huge shout out to, like, Hadestown cast for the way that they have been handling replacements after being on Broadway for 5 years. Like, these Eurydices, Hermes, Lydia's White, Philip Boynton as Hermes is like, because
as Hades.
Hades, not Hermes, Hades. But like, what an individual person who brings something to the table can do to a body of work, and I'm not seeing that anymore. I
think part of Hadestown's longevity is that every time they get a new cast, they allow them to just make the role completely their own.
Exactly.
And that is what is making the show so fresh. That's why it's still selling out over 95% capacity every week and selling out. I mean, look, Jordan Fisher is also still in the show. So
true. That is an example of a great replacement, especially for that role. That is a wonderful.
Oh my God.
That is a wonderful replacement.
I saw him. It was like it was written for him.
Don't brag about it.
I'm sorry.
Don't brag. He is never anywhere. Him and Daniel, Henry, what's his name? What's his name? Wrong man.
Oh, Joshua Henry.
Yeah, him and Joshua Henry are never at shows when I'm trying to be there, but that's for another day. But Yeah, like the BFAification, like you were speaking earlier about how, like, all right, I said they don't make stars anymore, and you're right. Like, where are the Broadway stars?
Yeah, and also with everyone sounding the same, we have these Broadway legends like that came before us, like Elaine Stritch, Ethel Merman. They didn't have the prettiest voices, but they had great voices, and they were some of the best actors. And I don't think they would have had a career in this current state of musical theater if they were just starting out.
I agree with you. I also think it has turned into, like, yes, those very specific actresses, but it's just like they aren't, the way they're writing these new musicals are not meant for individuals anymore.
Yeah.
Like, songs were written for those artists, and now they are writing so that anyone can fill those shoes, because capitalism has to have a complete turnover to work. And so they aren't writing for, look, even Audra McDonald. They're not, like Audra's going back to Gypsy because they're not writing anything else for her.
Yeah.
Her as Billie Holiday, like, that's a show that she was meant to do.
Yeah.
But they aren't writing things like that for her anymore. Like, even Patti LuPone is like, if Patti is saying it, if the woman who threw the phone, is talking, you listen to her when she's speaking to you.
Yeah.
She has things to say. She knows what she's saying to you. I also will say what I think is contributing to the, just the downfall of musical theater is, like, the movie to musical. And I'm not going to say that movie to musical is in any way new. It is not a new concept. One of my favorite musicals, if not my favorite, is Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde the musical is a transcendent production. Whenever I'm feeling down, that woman tells me what to do, she does.
Yeah.
Laura Bell Bundy, girl, you're my hero. You're my hero. And, like, Orphe, like, I just, but it's a beautiful musical that does something with its original material. Shrek the Musical, Heathers.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mean Girls is, it's fun.
Brian Darcy James as Shrek was transcendent.
Yeah.
I still think about that at least once a week. I listen to Who I'd Be, which
really?
I think is the best Act 1 number in any musical. That is my controversial opinion. But also, these musicals work as opposed to other movie musicals because the movies that they chose were theatrical in itself. They had something to say. There was material there that I could easily see. Yeah, that makes sense for them to adapt that into a musical. But a lot of the stuff they're adapting nowadays, I don't see it.
It's like, why? It's like you weren't even a successful movie.
No,
you weren't even like, your script. Which I read plenty of scripts, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And, like, I just really feel like those movie adaptations that are musicals that are successful, like we've mentioned, they have some solid musical theater actors behind those shows. I cannot say the same behind some of the current bodies of works that we've been seeing. I'm clearly not talking about you, Joy Woods. I'm not talking about a lot of people. These are not specific notes. We are not throwing shade. We are just talking about this state of musical theater, and it's because they are putting trained actors in there, but they are being trained in the exact same way.
Yes.
They are not trained individuals.
Yeah.
And that's why, they don't make albums anymore. They just pop out, and they just, it just goes away after a certain point. Like, some of these adaptations we will never see again.
Yeah.
Some of these musicals, these new musicals that I've seen, we will never see them again. And it's because they're not strong enough to be where they were. And there's nothing, look, we love mediocrity. We love things that don't work. I have seen many a show that doesn't work, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. But it is contributing to the downfall of an entire industry.
Yes.
And capitalism is the main thing driving. We have to put things out. We have to have a constant, really big season. And it's like, how about we pick things that work? How about we try things out in Wisconsin, Ohio, wherever people live who just have no art experience, and, like, whether that be racial disparity or wealth or whatever that is, show them that theater first. And if it bombs there's no way you think it's gonna do right on 8th Avenue. There's just no way. So, yeah.
I went to go see a musical this year that was a book and a movie, and I'm not going to say what it was, but I just remember thinking, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. is this where we are as a nation?
As a nation.
We are developing these shit musicals.
Oh my God.
Capitalism is killing art.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we're not going to have I mean, not to be negative, but I feel like we're not going to have like good Broadway shows.
Oh, it's not going to be called Broadway. It'll be called Disney Plus featuring these shows, or it'll be called, MGM. Some company will decide that Broadway is no longer deserving of its title. And honestly, we the people are saying that in hopes of making it like not like what it used to be, but better than it ever could be or was. We are wanting the future and the success of Broadway. I need somewhere to go if I'm going to collect my Tony eventually.
Absolutely. I want more original work that's not just a carbon copy. Like all these shows, they follow a formula. I've been interested in the shows that don't follow that formula. Or
Can you name one?
Like Illinois.
Okay, yeah.
Something.
Oh, your shirt?
My shirt.
Show off your shirt.
I'm wearing an Illinois shirt, everyone.
Heck yeah.
Like completely different from anything I've ever seen.
I have never seen anything like Illinois before, and yeah,
it was beautiful.
Yeah, I think I cried. I was high. I don't remember, but it was great. I loved it.
It was also like a strange loop.
Yeah.
That
anything that Michael R. Jackson does, I don't give a damn what you make. I'm gonna be there.
I have to say to our audience, I have a list of 6 musicals since the shutdown that I've like been obsessed with. When I walked away and I've been like, oh my God, this is incredible. And 3 of those musicals are Michael R. Jackson musicals.
Well, duh. But I will say that because Michael R. Jackson to me, and I said this to him when I saw White Girl in Danger. I said, "You are my Sondheim." I believe that he is the future of musical theater. He is ushering in a new age because he himself is fucking exhausted of what he's seeing. He's tired of and we are too. And it's kind of refreshing to know that like someone as brilliant as he is, and I really do believe that he is a brilliant human being.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we are not alone in feeling this.
Yeah.
The last thing that I want to say about the decline in musical theater and why I think it's happening is a lack of overtures. A lack of overtures we know it to be dangerous because I'm seeing what I'm seeing on these stages. The greats knew what an overture meant. It meant that I am engaging my audience immediately. I am asking them to trust me for whatever this 2 hour, 100, however much the ticket costs, however long the show is, but I'm asking them to trust me, and I'm going to give them a little shoulder, a little taste of the experience that I'm giving them. Stop treating your audience like they're dumb. They're not dumb. They are not dumb. They are actually quite smart individuals. And overtures immediately tell them what they can expect, who is, what kind of antics are happening. Like, Andrew Lloyd Webber is, to me, the king of overtures. Like, everything about, like, all of his shows, like, I know... the tone is set. It's okay to set the tone. But that's also, I don't know if I said this, but like Broadway has also become so corporate America in the way everything must be tied up in a very neat bow. Nobody leaves Miss Saigon happy.
Yeah.
Nobody leaves Into the Woods particularly happy. I often think about the 5-person family that sat next to me the first time I saw Into the Woods with Patina Miller, yes. And they left after Act 1. And I think because they just genuinely didn't know, but I always am envious of them because they didn't get to know how it goes down.
Yeah.
But an overture, I just remember, and I had never seen Into the Woods like put on fully. It just, My breath catches when I hear an overture.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I should have to wait 10 or 15 minutes while you exposition all over my face
Yeah.
to know what. No, I'm serious. Because it's 15 minutes and I'm sitting in a musical and I have no idea what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's scary to me. I have been horrified and scared at the lack of overtures in musical theater.
One more quick thing about musical theater. I think we're having a decline in the quality of the cast recordings we get because everything sounds so over auto-tune and pop.
Yeah.
I want the mistakes. I want to hear them breathing. I want to hear the acting choices they make.
Yeah.
Like, I love the original cast recording of Sweeney Todd. Like, it's raw and real, and I'm missing that in our new cast recordings that come out. And even if I really loved the show, I feel like sometimes I can't listen to the cast recordings because it's so generic and poppy and like...
Not that I'm having the opposite problem, but like, I don't want to listen to any new cast recordings, actually.
Yeah.
Not only, but it's two things. Not only exactly what you're saying, the cast recording is actually significantly different than what I'm seeing on stage.
Yeah.
But I have not been impressed with the quality of work to go stream it or like buy, or any of that. Like, the current cast album that has been in my rotation since June is Limpika. And that's because however I felt about that show, that music was revolutionary.
Yes.
And like, but like, it's not like I haven't seen shows since Limpika. It closed. It didn't live for very long. I've seen other things. But do I want those other things in my ears? No. Maybe if you had an overture.
Ooh.
Maybe. Look, but like,
Shade.
I mean, it's healthy shade.
Oh, it's constructive shade.
Constructive. Hey girl, don't be scared. Know you're depressed. The parties just ain't hitting like they used to. Girl, what are you doing? You know what? I know just what you need. You need theater. Go see theater. Oh no. Now, I think I have found a really good sweet spot when it comes to theater. And I think it's the art of 90-minute experiences. I feel like as a nation, we have TikTok and YouTube and all of this like short form content, and it has messed our attention span up. It wasn't intentional at all, but the reality is a lot of people are not able to sit through long form content. Like, some people I know have struggle sitting through a 90-minute movie. Dear God. But like, it didn't used to be like that. And so I think for people who are interested in theater but know they don't have that attention span, I think a 90-minute experience is perfect. I love a 90-minute play. Like, Illinois is 90 minutes. And when I say 90 minutes, I mean it's no intermission. Like, once you're there, and once you're done, you're done. It's not like after an hour and a half, you get up to stretch your legs, you buy a $40 drink, and then you got another hour and a half. No, sir. No, sirree. After 90 minutes, you and the wife and the kids or whoever, me by myself, whoever, you get to leave. You have experienced some art, and now you can talk about that art and feel that art and understand that art, but like, it only requires so much of you. I think 90 minutes is the bare minimum for a body of work.
I've always loved a 90-minute show because also you get out fast. Like, specifically thinking about a show recently, Jaja's African Hair Braiding. Gosh, I still get chills thinking about how good that was. And it was such smart writing and the character relationships between all the character, like the relationships between all the characters. It was so great. And I have really bad ADHD. So I have to say...
I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh.
No, it's funny.
No, it's... No. We don't laugh at people with ADHD. We don't do that. I don't do that.
Going back to the art of 90 minutes, I feel like the art of 90 minutes is kind of it's a new thing.
I agree. I think it's a new thing specifically because as a nation, as a people,
Yeah.
our attention span is in the toilet.
Yeah.
Like, some people really are waking up every single morning and just every single second, instant gratification.
Yeah.
And your mind doesn't have, like, this is why I'm actually very against Coco Melon as an institution. I know it doesn't have
Oh.
anything to do with theater, but I'm going to talk about it. Coco Melon, the image changes every 3 seconds. I'm not even kidding. Watch a Coco Melon video, 3 seconds, which means that children are learning from like literally being months old. They are learning that their mind, their eyes cannot latch onto a single image. They will have it embedded in them where they don't have an attention span.
Hey. Are you depressed? Have you been going to see theater? Well, what if I told you that you can? You can go see theater. Yeah, you. It'll change your life. You can go see Broadway, off-Broadway, off-Broadway. Boost your happiness today. Are you depressed? Go see theater.
Is this where we are as a nation?
As a nation. As a nation. As a nation, as a people, we as a nation are looking for instant gratification. And it's happening so early. And it's like adults, like, no matter what, we're all on our phones. It's
Yeah.
always like, we as a nation we're just doing this all day, every day. It's messing everything up. It's messing everything up.
And especially, I think we were the first people to grow up in the age of social media, like our age group.
Yeah.
And now it's just like such a, like, I got my first flip phone at 12. I got an iPhone at 15. And I only got a flip phone because my mom needed to know when to pick me up from rehearsal.
Absolutely.
Now kids are getting phones at in elementary school.
Well, I had a phone at elementary. I got my first phone at 7.
Well, you also didn't live. You lived in Atlanta.
What does that mean?
It was a city.
Not really. I started.
Oh, really?
I started out in the suburbs, honey.
Oh.
And then I moved to the city.
Never mind that. I'm sorry.
No, Hannah Montana dreams. But like, I had my first one at 7 just because my mom wanted to be able to contact me. But like, it's a flip phone.
Yeah.
All I had was ringtones to entertain me.
Yeah.
And then I got an iPhone, and then it was like, but even then it was like YouTube content. It wasn't like it wasn't what it is now. TikTok, you can literally change what you see every second. If you don't like what you see, you can change it. And I think that we should be so intentional with the media that we're consuming, especially like today. There's so much media. I say as I'm asking you to watch our media, but like we are doing long form media so that you can get a chance to like know us and hear what we're talking about and that kind of thing. And theater is an amazing way to kind of break yourself out of this phone mold. Your phone cannot hold the intricacies of live theater. There is nothing about your phone that will ever, and like it's not just because I love theater. I'm being so serious with you. Nothing on your phone, nothing on your TV, unless it is filmed theater, can come. But like even that can compare to live theater, to being in a space with actors, to see a set, to hear an orchestra. Like, if you are wanting to see theater and it's new to you or it's not something that you typically do on your day-to-day, a 90-minute show, they're out there. They exist. And look, we say Broadway, off-Broadway, off-Broadway, off.
Regional theater.
Look, regional theater, like
Yeah, anything.
anything. Like, just support this art in any way that you can.
I think 90 minutes, especially for newer people coming into theater, if they're maybe not as familiar, also with the lack of attention spans that we have just been talking about, I think it's great. And I think we, as a society, might need to focus on that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the 90-minute experience is a nice compromise. I think that if you're on the fence about it, or if you just are curious, or just whatever your reasons are, go see theater, save musical theater, and go see a show that's 90 minutes. And if you're making a show that is longer than 90 minutes, longer than 2 hours, that is 3 hours, maybe you should think and consider is this helping the story or is this feeding my ego?
Ooh.
And that's kind of all I'll say about that. But again, we love musical theater. We love theater. So Say Musical Theater will make t-shirts. And
We should have merch. Say Musical Theater.
Say Musical Theater in the Art of 90 Minutes.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank
yeah.
you. Hi. So you're probably out there thinking, God damn it, Broadway is so expensive.
How will I ever see a Broadway show or a play or a musical? Oh my.
Oh my. Well, we're here to tell you as two broke girls that we go see Broadway all the time.
All the time. We see literally everything.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to tell you how we do it.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. So, what are rush tickets? Every day, the box office sets aside a certain number of tickets that they will sell that are going to be a lot cheaper than your average Broadway ticket. So, there are no Broadway shows on Mondays, but Tuesdays through Saturdays, the box office opens at 10, and Sundays, the box office opens at 12. And you're going to want to get there before the box office opens because everyone is going to have the same idea as you. You're going to want to get there early so you can get a good seat.
So now you're thinking, what is a digital lottery? Well, it's exactly how it sounds. It is a digital, phone, or computer lottery for a chance to win tickets. It's cheap, it's convenient, you really can't go wrong. There are websites as well as apps that are available to you to find these lotteries. If you are one of those apps or that website, feel free to sponsor us.
These are the shows that currently offer rush or standing room tickets.
Shows that have a current digital lottery.
The first show we're going to talk about today is Ain't No Mo by Jordan E. Cooper. A certain demographic might be uncomfortable at that show.
A certain demographic didn't go. The next forgotten angel that I'm going to talk about, one would say an angel in America, was K-pop. I'm not a fan of K-pop, like it's not anything I listen to, but it was a very fun show.
Yeah, I watched the show illegally online.
Oh.
Should I not say it?
Wow. Wow.
A certain major publication published an article that described the lighting in K-pop as
Yeah.
We just don't want to get sued for defamation.